So now let's talk about what this means from an end user experience. So let's just say I was on a dashboard that had my contacts and my relationships. You're going to see that this relationship score is a data point that automatically starts calculating. And what I can do, just like any other data point in DealCloud, is I can make pivots, I can make charts and graphs, I can do analytics, right? So you might want to break this out by contact type so that you can do some analytics for your relationships with executives versus bankers versus other relationships. Or you might want to break this out by industry so you can identify gaps potentially, right? If you have really strong relationships in the tech sector, but not as strong relationships in healthcare or in consumer, right? Those are the types of things that we can expose by doing some overall kind of aggregate analytics using these relationship scores. But what I can also do is zoom in. So let's just say I really care about this relationship with Dan. So I'm going to click in on this relationship score, and now I can see all the components that live behind it. And one of the cool things that we did is we enabled some new charts and graphs to help you better consume this relationship data. The first one is this dynamic time period filter, right? So if I wanted to see this zoomed in for just this month, and I can kind of see our relationship trend week over week, I can do that. If I wanted to change that to quarters, I can see this month over month for the last quarter. Or I can even change this to year, where I can see how this has looked for the last several months over the course of this year. What I can also do is dynamically change the section of this chart or graph, right? So if I want to look at this specific time period between January and October, I can do that, right? And each one of these sections enables me to consume some component of that relationship. So I can see, as compared to January 1st, we have a much stronger relationship with Dan today, and that comprises of a pretty balanced mix of more emails, more meetings, more dispatch activities, right? So I can see all of the components and all the different activities that add up to this score. I can also see what this looks like as a benchmark as compared to our other relationships in the system. And I can do some trend analysis here so that we can see, has our relationship been getting stronger or weaker over time? So as I think about the actual use of this from a private equity standpoint, the number one thing that comes to mind is proprietary sourcing. You need to develop relationships with management teams well before those companies ever come to market. And what we are doing is giving you the tools to assess how well are you covering and managing those relationships and helping you identify potential gaps or holes in your coverage model. As we think about taking this topic to the next level, right now you're looking at a relationship that exists just between one person and another contact. But soon we're going to be able to aggregate this information from contacts to companies, from companies to companies, and even incorporate relationship webs to identify relationships that exist 1 and potentially even 2 degrees away, right? So what you are doing with this relationship scoring is just understanding the gaps in the coverage of your relationship and taking the appropriate action items to manage those relationships more effectively.